Good afternoon and welcome to the Happy Half Hour. I'm Leigh Kubin, Master Certified Life Coach and Mindset Coach.
I'm Sandra Priestley. I'm a leadership coach and a feng shui practitioner.
Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. I can just hear my garage door opening. So
Oh, can you?
hopefully no one else can hear this, but
No.
we'll just, okay, good. It's a wonderful place to have your office over top of the garage because there's no real noise unless someone decides to go in and out. Then there is.
Yes.
Anyway, I'm glad you can hear it. Happy Thursday. I am drinking water today. What are you drinking? I know.
Funny you should say that.
Pretty cup.
Oh, I love that cup.
Mm-hmm.
We're having Logan's going away party Saturday.
Right.
So I'm stocked up on the liquid death.
Okay, hang on. You're drinking out of a can.
Well, not kind
It's
of,
water.
kind
It's
of,
water
but it's
out of a can.
in a cup.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I got the berry. It's called Bury It Alive, like Berry.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute.
And it's actually really good. It's
Huh?
not overpowering.
And it's like sparkling
It's
or it's
sparkling
not?
water, but it has just this soft taste of berries. So it's perfect. It
Oh,
almost feels like I should have berries in my cup,
oh, cool.
in my Wonder Woman cup.
I love that. I love it.
Yeah.
So awesome.
So
Okay,
we're
so tell
water
me what's
girls today.
happening. Yeah, we're what? Yeah. How freaky is that?
Um, Man, this week has been so much packed into 4.5 days. And I knew going in, and then, now I'm getting ready for the party and I'm not done with my work week. But all the big stuff is done. And last night I got home after about a 12-hour day.
Oh gosh.
And I was like, I just want to go to bed. Like, I'm done. And
Yeah.
then Paul goes, what time are we going to the gym in the morning? And I said, I have to be at the office at 6:40. And he goes, well, what time do you have to get in the shower? And I'm like, 5:20. And he goes, well, we can go to the gym at 4.
Why? Why, Paul?
And
Why?
I was like, are you really talking to me like that right now?
Gosh.
After this long ass day, you want me to get
Yeah.
up at 4 a.m.? He just laughed. I think he was just trying to poke the bear.
Yeah. 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 Okay, good.
Well, I started an amazing book this week,
Tell
Atomic
me.
Habits.
Okay, I've heard about this book. I've heard
And
amazing, but I don't read books, but still I've heard
listen
amazing
to it
things
on
about it.
Audible.
Hmm.
It is so good.
Really?
Well, because they want you to really analyze. First, they just want you to look at what are your habits? What do you
Right.
do every day? Some of them are neutral. They don't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
But some of them are keeping you stuck and keeping you from your goals.
Ooh.
And some of them are pushing you towards your goals.
Right.
And so you kind of write down what the things that you do. And is this serving me? Basically, that's not the verbiage they used,
Yeah.
but is this serving me or not?
I
Is
love
this
it.
something that I enjoy that's not hurting or helping?
Right.
Or is this something that's pushing me to that next level?
Yeah.
And it's
That's so
interesting.
cool.
Yeah. And it's an amazing book. I'm going to start a book club for our support group, our patients.
Mm-hmm.
I want to pick a small group of people and meet weekly for like a month, go through the book, have questions for them that they need to show up with
Right.
and talk about it and see the breakthroughs on all the, because every one of them has different goals. They all want to lose weight,
Mm-hmm.
but besides their weight, they've got to live.
Mm-hmm.
And so I am so excited to see what that brings for me too, because I'm going to be participating as well.
Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
in this group of people to see, like, at the end of it, what did we do? What
Exactly.
did we create?
It's so true though, because we kind of get into this like routine that a lot of times doesn't serve us, like if we think, well, we have a goal or we have a vision that we want to bring to life, but we have a habit of getting up at 8:30 in the morning,
Yes.
instead of, if I, like I think back to when I was with Beachbody, it was, I need to figure out, because I used to be able to go to the gym all the time and I loved going to the gym. But at that time, my kids were a lot younger. They were in 5 sports between the 2 of them. And I couldn't get to the gym. And if I did get to the gym, it was like 9 o'clock at night and then I couldn't sleep. So I needed to figure out like what was a new habit or what was a new time that would work for me. So I started just working out at home where I could still be here with the kids and not leaving them on their own to grab lunch or make their lunches or grab breakfast at 6 years old. And so I started working out at home and I started working out in the morning, that because it worked for me with my goals and with my life.
Because there's not a magic time to work out. It needs to fit into your day.
It needs to fit into your day, and it needs to be the time that works for you. So that's easiest for you, right? I needed to be able to get up and work out before I actually woke up fully.
That's why we go in the morning.
Myself, because I can convince myself I got a lot of things on the go. And I can procrastinate a long period of time so that at 9 o'clock at night, it's like, nah, no, it's too cold out or whatever.
Oh, if I wait till that late, I will find any excuse.
Yes, exactly. But it's such a good way to see, what am I doing? Is it taking me closer or farther away from my goals?
Yeah.
And how can I shift it so that it makes, it works within my schedule?
Yes.
And my life. And it's something that I can do and I like to do.
But our thoughts are habits too.
Very true. Very true.
And to analyze, because we tend to think the same things over and over again. We draw conclusions with missing pieces. True. And so that's kind of some of the stuff that I'm really looking at for me. And my expectation. Okay. When something happens and the first thought is the worst case scenario, it's why would you go there? And it's a habit. Yeah. Yeah. I used to be the worst worrier. Not good at all. I would be so focused on creating scenarios that may not even come true. And it was becoming debilitating. This is the, because you feel like it's real. Yeah. It feels very, very real. It does. And so I started, Googling. I started Googling worrying and how to stop worrying. And this one website that I came upon, I wish I could find it again. It was so good. And it started talking about there's 3 different types of worriers. I don't know what the first 2 were because I wasn't those, but I was the 3rd type of worrier. And this one was the worrier who felt that there was a benefit to worrying. And the benefit was if I can worry enough and dream about enough possibilities and enough things for, ways that things can go wrong, I can be prepared in advance for when it does happen. And then I will know what to do. It's like preparation. I will save the day. Right. It's this is a good idea. And, they said this type of worrier is the hardest to change because they believe there's a purpose to it. And it had to be, I still will default there. I still will default there. And I have to intentionally go back to 95% of the things, I heard this quote, 95% of the things that you worry about will never happen. And I think it's just a made up bullshit quote, but I needed to lean into that at the time. But doesn't it feel good?
it feels good to
Yeah.
just think, oh, okay, wait, it's not going to happen. And then another one was like, even if you do worry about it, it's probably not going to happen in the way that you think that it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But the biggest one for me was I handle hard and I can handle pain. And so when we worry about something, we're worrying about it and feeling the pain now,
Mm-hmm.
and also feeling the pain if it does happen.
Correct.
So it's not helping anything. We're feeling the pain twice.
You're stealing your peace in the moment
Absolutely.
because you're not relaxed, enjoying life, going, what am I going to conquer today? You're like,
Right.
fuck, the
Yeah,
sky is falling. How do I pick it up?
exactly. Exactly. And so it's been this kind of process, this 15 years process of me just kind of collecting like things that I read that helped me get out of that worrying state.
Yeah.
And even just knowing that the more energy I put into the fear, the more I am vibrating at that frequency, the more I'm
Yeah.
going to get the shit that I don't want. Right.
Yeah.
So it's been, but PS, for a worrier, that just makes you worry more. Right. Like this idea of like, oh no, now I'm worrying and I'm putting it out to the universe and then I'm going to get back what I like. It just makes you worry more. So I really had to just lean into faith over fear.
Mm-hmm.
And just, trust in God, the universe, that
Yeah.
if something bad does happen, I'm not going to plan for it now and feel pain twice.
No.
I can handle it later.
And you need your peace right now because life does happen, right? Like things come up that we
They do.
didn't plan for, we didn't think we wanted.
Exactly.
But there's always a gift in it. And when we're wrapped up in the pissed off, why is this happening to me?
Yes.
Instead of what is this here to teach me?
Well, yeah. And when I look back, like I think I said this last week, but when I look back at my 2022 year, I was the most proud of the challenges that I had that I made it through from, like how I maneuvered and how I navigated them. So I'm not really that concerned that I can't navigate the hard. I don't navigate the fear. It's like I don't navigate the fear as well as I navigate when something is actually on my doorstep. It's true.
Yeah, when it's there, then it's like, okay, focus. What do you need to do?
Right.
When you're in fear mode, you're just making up stories and making it bigger and torturing yourself.
Exactly. And I mean, one of the books that like I said, I don't read books. I'm dyslexic. I don't choose to. I mean, I can read, but it's hard on my brain and I can't read very many pages at once. But I've read 2 books cover to cover that were personal development, and they were The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz and The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. And The Power of Now is really huge for me too, because it really does say there's peace in the now, not 3 seconds ago and not the next second, like right this moment. There are no problems.
Yeah.
And when you can step into that, you can feel more bliss. And so that was another thing that I really feel like was pivotal to get out of the worry. But so it was so true for me that it had become a habit that was not serving me at all. Like this constant move to fear, you know?
Instead of move to excitement.
Exactly.
What if today, whatever shows up?
Yeah.
Something amazing shows up. Like, what if?
Cassie Howard, she's a Canadian business coach and an online business coach. And she always says, like, her tagline is, what if and why not? And I just think it's so powerful. And I mean, in a positive way, not what if this goes wrong, but,
Correct.
what if everything we wanted was possible? And why isn't it possible for me? Why not? And I feel like that kind of energy is just such something that's so good to lean into as often as you can.
Yeah, when you need it, that's where you go.
Yeah.
Mindy Audlin, I think I'm saying that right. She started years ago, the What If Up Club.
Oh,
And
cool.
it's when you say, what if the sky falls,
Mm-hmm.
you reframe it to what if it shines?
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Whatever it
Yeah.
is that you're doubting in that moment, that you're like, what if it doesn't happen? But what if it does? And what if it's
Yeah.
better than you could have ever imagined?
Mm-hmm. I love it.
Yeah. And when we open ourselves up like that to
Mm-hmm.
to thinking, I talked to a group of realtors this week, and we were talking, I was telling them the story about me being in my apartment and going, well, I've created one hell of a mess here. What the fuck am I gonna do now? I didn't quite
Yeah.
word it that way,
Yeah.
but I was like, it was the weirdest sensation because it was something I had never, ever in my life done. But all of a sudden, I started giving thanks and just walking around and feeling it. And now I know I was in the vortex. I didn't know back then. I just
Mm-hmm.
knew that it felt really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
And had I not felt so good and continued that, I don't know if I'd be sitting here right now,
Right.
because
Yeah.
that's when everything changed. It's when everything turned around. Um,
Mm-hmm. And you were looking around your apartment going, I'm grateful for this one fork kind of thing.
yeah, yeah. The apartment that I had a bed on
Yeah.
the floor with no stand. I
No
did have
things.
a
Yeah.
TV, no furniture.
Yeah.
I had a couple of plates, a couple of forks. I think I could feed two people.
Yeah.
Uh, but I had pictures on the walls.
Mm,
That's the one thing I had, was pictures on the walls. And
nice.
so I'm just going and looking at loved ones, some of whom didn't speak to me at the time, but
Yeah. Yeah.
and I was just so grateful. And I don't know why. If I was stuck in that apartment today, just as it was, to think about me walking around being grateful and saying thank you, and
Mm-hmm.
feeling it in my soul,
Yeah.
that would not be my go-to if I were there. So it's like my inner being was going, give thanks. I don't know what they were saying to me, but for some reason I was listening, and I'm very, very grateful. But we were talking about that, and the importance of being in that space, even when the evidence around you doesn't necessarily inspire that in you. And that is something that needs to be a habit for
Yeah.
all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when we're in that habit, because the things that followed that start of that and the continuation of that, it was just like magic. I know it
Wow.
wasn't magic, but that's what it felt like. But I was in
Yeah.
alignment.
Yeah. You're just being divinely led through it,
Yes.
right? Like just
Yes.
like you're listening to divine messages.
Hmm. Without knowing it, like the
Right.
little baby learning to
Mm-hmm.
crawl,
Yeah.
is kind of the way I
Yeah.
interpret that.
Yeah.
But that's a habit we need, and
Mm-hmm.
watch everything open up.
I love those books that just make you think differently
Hmm.
forever.
Yes.
You know,
Hmm.
like The Four Agreements
That is
makes
a
me think
life
differently
changer.
forever. The
Yeah.
Power of You differently forever. It sounds like this one would be the same.
Hmm.
Like
It's
just
different than the power of now.
awareness.
It's different than Eckhart Tolle. There's none of that. It does feel good. It's a different feel good. But
Yeah,
everything this guy's saying is truth.
right. It's less energetic, this book, it sounds like, right? Like it's
Yes. But there
more
are
like
some things
daily practices.
but there are some things he says that do put me in the vortex, because
Okay.
I'm going, yes, that's it. And that might just be my alignment, like with
To what
that.
he's saying. Mhm,
Uh-huh.
mhm.
But he was talking about this guy in the wheelchair. And someone said, God, don't you feel like a prisoner in that wheelchair? Like it must be so tough having to live like that. And he
Right,
said, Are you kidding me? This is how I get around. If it weren't for this chair, I would be stuck in that bed.
right. Mhm.
And that's how we need to look at the things that we do not like. Now, that's really easy for me to say sitting here with perfect use of my legs.
Yeah,
So you get what I'm saying. I mean, we're all at
yeah,
different places.
yeah.
But to have the courage and the insight to say I can be pissed off sitting in this chair
Mhm,
and hate life, or I can realize that this is a gift
mhm.
and go do something with it.
Well, and even, I've taken courses where people will say, like, if you have a business online and let's say you use Instagram for your business, complaining about Instagram,
Mhm.
complaining about the algorithm, complaining about the reach, complaining that you got kicked off of Instagram, your account suspended, complaining about, whatever it happens to be is
Yeah.
not energetically going to get you where you want to go.
No. No.
And so that's like such a minor example compared to your wheelchair example, but I think we can all find something in our lives
Mhm.
where it's like we need something, but we're going to choose either be pissed off or grateful,
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
and I think it can be small or big. Like, it really made me
Mm.
think about that because I like my husband and I, because we had teenage kids at the time, and it was like they were constantly on social media. And so we started calling it Insta shit and Snap crap,
Mhm.
just just for fun, right? Like,
Yeah.
it was just like, because it was just constant. And all of a sudden I realized one day, wait a minute, I'm not on Snapchat, but I am on Instagram and I use this for my business. So instead of honoring it, I'm discarding it.
Mhm.
And I really had to, like, it was just one of those things, like, I don't know. Sometimes we just hear something differently and it just
Yeah.
changes
Yeah.
everything, right?
And
So,
sometimes we'll
that
hear it
sounds
from
good.
someone else. Like
Yeah.
they will say something and
Yeah.
it will hit me like, oh my gosh, did you really
Yeah.
just say like
Yeah.
I can see it? And then I'm like, well, you can't say anything.
I know. It's so true. Yeah.
But then you look at where are you doing that?
Hmm.
Why did she show you that? Or why did he show you that?
Yeah.
Maybe he's trying to help shine a light
Yeah.
on your own shit.
Well, and where's the gift in someone else's situation for us too, right? Like, I really believe
Mhm.
that any book that we pick up, any podcast that we just fall onto, anything that happens, there's a message or a gift for me. Like, I believe that to
Mhm.
my core.
Mhm.
And lots of people may not think that that is like, I
Well,
constantly see this, like, sometimes things just happen and there's not a meaning. And I'm like, well, I
always a
believe there
meaning.
is. So there is a meaning.
But we have to look for it
Yeah,
because
exactly.
sometimes it shows up as an annoyance, an inconvenience,
Hmm.
a mean person,
Yeah,
um, whatever. But when we look at it in those terms instead of, oh, what's this here to teach me? What am I going to learn?
right.
How am I going to grow from this?
Yeah,
Is that always easy to do in the moment? Well, no,
no, it's
no,
not.
it's a practice.
Yeah.
And I think we all continue to learn. I don't know that we arrive one day and go, oh, everything that happens, I will see a gift in.
Yeah.
you know, I mean, I'm ready to get there, but I don't know if I'm dedicated enough for that.
Well, for me, it's like it's a conscious effort. And for me, if I have an emotion, I think, why is this emotion here?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's tied to the feeling.
Yeah.
So I guess it's not like every single, I'm drinking water. What does this mean? But it's like, if I have a feeling about
Mm-hmm.
the water, my cup, I think, oh, that's interesting that I would feel something. What is it here to teach me? What am I here to learn? Why do I feel this? Like,
Yeah.
I'm always in this constant questioning, sort of inquisitive stage of what, what is this here for me?
Yeah.
Where's the gift? Sometimes it's hard though, when
Sometimes
you're
we don't
leaning
see it.
more into fear, right? When I
Oh.
feel like when I'm leaning more into fear, it's almost like the rabbit hole. I'm like going down the rabbit hole. And it has like a momentum of its own. And it takes
Mm-hmm.
a lot out of me sometimes to stop it,
Yeah.
before it gets too much.
My coach told me one time, let it play out like a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Just sit back and watch what happens. And so there are times that I am in fear and I am like, what's around the corner?
Yeah.
And I get this calmness that
Mm-hmm.
goes, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's all going to be fine. Watch it
Mm-hmm.
like you're watching a movie and see what shows
Mm-hmm.
up.
It's
And
so much easier when you can remove
calms me
yourself
down.
from it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
Yeah. So, with that, I think it's time for us to go.
I think
Our
it
time
is.
is up.
Yeah.
Um, this was quick.
I know. It seemed like it went quick, but I feel like there was like so many good little things.
Good, lots of good nuggets.
Yeah.
Ah, well, thank you. I cannot wait till next week to tell you about Logan's party.
I know.
Oh, yeah. This time next week, he will be gone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, Mama's proud, but her heart
Yes.
hurts just a little bit,
Yeah, for sure.
but more proud. But have a great week. And thank you guys for joining us. We will see you next Thursday on the Happy Half Hour. Bye.
Bye.